when we look at what is Israel known for, I often walk up to people and I say, you know, that flash drive you're using, that was developed in Israel. And they look at me with cross eyes and say, I didn't know that. And I say, you know, much of the stuff inside that machine you're using is developed in Israel. And they say, I didn't know that. And so one of the reasons we have a conference like this, not only in Israel, because it's good to remind ourselves that Israel does produce much of the technology, a good portion of the technology that drives the technological world, but it's also great to be ambassadors and to let others know, our friends in other countries, especially in corporations, that good things come from active minds. And we're very fortunate to have one of the largest figures in Israeli technology come and tell us about AI. But not only just AI, but Dov Moran is going to tell us about how AI can save our world. Dov.
Thanks. Hi. Good evening. Yeah. Clicker. I'm very happy to be here. I understand that you went through a long day and you need something which is short, surprising, that can really take you into other directions, worlds, whatever. So I'm here to provide this kind of speech. I hope so. It might be a bit political, and please forgive me, but today everything is political, if you didn't notice that. I'm going to talk about why and how AI is going to change the world. So first, generative AI, as you understood from others, that's a revolution, going to change a lot of stuff. It is something at the order of magnitude of inventing semiconductors, later CPU and PC, and computers, and internet and mobile. So that's huge. And this is what would lead us, practically, into the new world. But with every revolution, every technology revolution, as this one, comes the problem. Guys, can you think about a world with no cars? So cars came to the world over 100 years ago, and if you think about what would be life of each one of you without cars, there is no way you can imagine a world with no cars. Now, guess what cars brought to the world, in addition to the ability to move from one place to another very fast? Car accidents. But just to give you the feeling for the world without cars, it's not just the issue of mobility. Think about New York, Manhattan. If you notice, in very old buildings in Manhattan, you have to step 5, 6 steps to move from the floor level into the entrance of the building. Anybody knows why? These are buildings who were built before cars. So New York, Manhattan, before cars, horses, shit at the streets. The first train takes the shit into the houses. So every house in Manhattan was built with stairs to the first floor because of the horse shit. Yeah, I'm not joking, that's reality. And clearly, if I have to describe the smell, I allow you to describe it yourself. Cars gave us a lot of good stuff. With the problems: car accidents, pollution, many others. But that's the matter with every technology revolution. So if you talk about the generative AI, very smart colleagues of mine, or people in the industry, are talking about the issues, the problems, and they talk about currently fake news that might lead to social unrest. We are beginning to see it. It influences already elections in the world. 20 years from now, mass unemployment, and 50 years from now, we are living under the risk that AI might turn against us. Now, the 20 years and 50 years are taken from a variety of articles. There are articles talking about 100 years from now. Easily, this can be 3 years from now, and this can be 10 years from now as well. And you know, the guys who are talking with it are talking with a lot of conviction. Are you familiar with this picture? Guys? Well, this is the American ex-president, Donald Trump, being forcefully arrested. Of course, this is fake. Yeah. Provide this picture enough times and people will know this is fake, but still believe that he was arrested. That's the issue behind fake news and fake data. That's a statement that in particular, I'm particularly worried that these models could be used for large-scale disinformation. Do you know who said it? Anybody will guess? Yeah, Sam Altman, the guy which is behind OpenAI. He's talking about the problems of the system he created. However, as with any problem exists, computer security, cars, there are means to fight against these issues. If we talk about cars, originally, guess what? Cars came to the world, there were no traffic lights, there were no signs. Yeah? You could theoretically drive in a city at a speed of 140 kilometers per hour if your engine would allow it. Actually, it allowed 14 kilometers per hour. But in a very short time, there were regulations coming, usually by governments or cities, to actually manage the issues of how to drive, who can drive, who have a driver license, can somebody at the age of 12 drive a car, and many other issues related to this breakthrough. Similar things will happen here. There will be regulations to actually enable us to get safe data, safe information generated by AI. And moreover, this issue is a great idea for many companies that would come to the world in order to provide solutions. In my fund, Go Ventures, we have at least 2 companies that are dealing with that just now. These are companies who are DeepChecks and another company called ActiveFence that actually are dealing today with building solutions to these issues. There will be many others. That's the reality. Technology brings problems. Technology allows company to be generated to solve these problems. Now comes the biggest, there is another issue of unemployment. Guys, every technology, the first thing it does, it creates the question, how about unemployment? This is beginning of the Industrial Revolution. Hey, cars came to the market. Do you know what's a balegule? Balegule? Balegule is a job. There were people, it's in Hebrew, it's balagala. There were people who had this, horse with a wagon, and they don't exist anymore. They became taxi drivers. Yeah, no one is smiling. Do you hear me, by the way? Oh, thank you very much. Okay, great. So every revolution takes jobs, creates jobs, and here I'm supposed to be very concerned. Me, as a VC fund manager, computers, AI, are going to do better job than me in deciding where to invest. Am I really worried? Not really. So the large issue is what would happen if AI will turn against us? Another statement, we need to be super careful with AI. It is potentially more dangerous than nukes. AI will be the best or worst thing ever for humanity. Who said so? Elon Musk, that's right, yeah. And that's another statement. That's actually AI might raise many practical advantages of democracy. And this is a statement by a very smart guy, he's a close friend, Yuval Noah Harari, maybe one of the best storytellers.
Nothing about AI.
One of the best historical storytellers from that was born. He's from the Hebrew University. But if we look at the real risk that we are facing today, we can talk about global warming, new kinds of viruses, food, starving. We can talk about wars involving weapons of mass destruction. We can talk about deep economic crises. But if you ask me what's the real issue, these are not the real issues, because all these issues can be solved by effective governments, and if I would have the time, I could explain for each of these issues why this is going to be resolved. And now I'm coming to the largest issue of the 21st century that no one is talking about. And I hope you still be my friends after telling you that. The biggest problem of the 21st century is bad governments. Bad governments all over the world. Bad governments, corrupted leaders that the only thing in their mind is power, power and more power, without really caring about the people, about the status, about the nation, without humility, without knowing how to really manage and how to do well for their own people, without having the time and attention to really taking care of the problems I raised before. So, that's a statement which probably all of you are familiar with. Democracy is the worst form of government, except for all the others that have been tried. Winston Churchill, guys, I'm the guy who is going every Saturday night to vote, to protest or to talk in front of the protesters about democracy, because this statement is very, very correct. Clearly, lack of democracy in the way some people want us to become is disaster to the country. So, if you pay attention, the statements say worst form of government that have been tried. Democracy today is often the victory of populism, of nationality, of people who are liars, that use fake news, that do things which are awful in order to be in a position of power. Perhaps it's a time to try something different. And actually, maybe that's a time to allow computers and AI saving our world. How? So my proposal is to actually build a frame which actually will give the power to AI and computers to screen among candidates for the job of prime minister or president or others. And if somebody is laughing, that's fine, because this is very different. We don't have a choice, guys. We don't have the choice. I believe that we have to use AI to help us find the right leaders, which will be smart, honest, modest, love their countries, know how to lead, know how to take the right decisions, have values, and seek to do good. And this is not political. This is not political because, guys, this is not right versus left. This is not religious versus non-religious. This is not Democrats versus Republicans or others. This is a call for how to create a better world, actually how to save this world. Thank you very much.
Dov, we love how you weave the concepts of technology into how we can improve our lives and get involved. I'll mention that the best part of AI to me is that it's causing us humans to be more creative and to do things that we hadn't thought to do before. Dov, you're part of the history of technology in Israel. I'll exchange a clicker for a piece of history. Tov, toda.